Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to Madden 2002 in the Dallas Cowboys franchise mode. We are finally kicking off year number 4 after a disappointing loss in the postseason in year number 3. So we have a little bit better of a roster, or a little bit better in the breakdown between the numbers here. We're finally at least stacking up better than the Seahawks, a team that we have failed to beat in our previous 2 meetings. This is going to be our 3rd meeting, our 2nd straight to kick off a season. Last year we played the Seahawks in Seattle to kick off year number 3. And so to kick off year number 4, we are back playing Seattle once again, who did go on last year to lose in the NFC Championship game to the Redskins in our own division, which is crazy that the Redskins even made it that far considering how good of a season that we had. And of course we won the NFC East and all that, but the Seahawks managed to make it all the way to the championship game and then lost in overtime in that game. So in our previous 2 meetings with the Seahawks, we lost the first one in the regular season 7-9, a very low-scoring affair, and then in the playoffs it was another low-scoring affair, losing 13-7. So both times we've failed to score more than a single touchdown on the Seahawks. Hopefully that is going to change today with the extended quarter lengths and whatnot. So the playoff game was the last one I recorded without that, and so this is going to be the first one I record with the extended quarter lengths and with a newer team. So we're going to get things started off here on a 3rd and 10 already. Our defense is standing tall against Seattle's offense, but they are already in Dallas territory. So Hasselbeck's going to drop back. He's going to fire one off to the left side of the field, and it's going to be caught inside the red zone. We had a few Cowboys over there, but of course no one is going to make a play on the ball, because when do they ever do that? So Robinson hauls that one inside the 20. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Seahawks. They got their tight end in motion. And Hasselbeck's going to drop back and quickly fire this one off to a wide open receiver. I think it was Westbrook, our free agent cornerback from last season, giving up the coverage on that one. It was just a quick play, though, very quick release. I guess try to catch Westbrook off guard, as Westbrook was watching the quarterback instead of watching the receiver. So the Seahawks are going to strike first early in this game and take a 7-point lead. But we are working the ball close to midfield. So on 1st and 10, it's going to be a handoff to Roland Rich, the rookie running back. He's got some open space on the edge, and he's going to seize that open space and get all the way inside of the 20 before being brought down out of bounds. And so we're rolling with a new rookie running back to replace Emmitt Smith. We're still trying to replace that Emmitt Smith-sized hole in our hearts. Last year it was Bruce Perry, but Roland Rich actually is the better running back on the depth chart. So he's going to be getting the carries here moving forward. So on a 2nd and 9 here, just under a minute and change left, and the pressure is on to Chuck Dunn. Somehow he gets rid of that football, and it is caught. I believe that's Desmond Clark, the new free agent tight end who we signed in the offseason. Somehow Chuck Dunn gets rid of this ball. I have no idea how he managed to get rid of the football under that much pressure. The play fell apart almost immediately. I don't even know how many Seattle rushed on that play. They might have rushed 6 or 7, I swear, because I have no idea how that pressure got inside so quickly. So on a 3rd and goal, Seattle's defense is making us fight for every single possible yard. The last play of the quarter, and again the play falls apart with pressure coming off the edge, but Chuck Dunn somehow keeps the football and gets into the end zone for the first Cowboy touchdown of the season. I have no idea how that pressure got through as easily as it did. Seattle sent a rusher off the edge. It just wasn't even picked up. I guess that would have been Roland Rich's guy to block, but he was in before the handoff even got to him. So 7-7 is the score after one. So we've already matched our tally against Seattle in all 2 previous matchups. But again, we have the football here on a 2nd and 2 in our or close to midfield. And Chuck Dunn gets this one off quick to Raghib Ismail, a familiar face, a name that's been around for a while, but we didn't really call him out too much in year number 3. I feel like we were looking other places, or Chuck Dunn was, but he hooks up with him there. So on another 3rd and short situation, Dunn's going to drop back. This time he does have plenty of time to throw, and he's going to find Joey Galloway, who's got to come back for it, but he does pick up the first down. So the drive will continue in Seattle territory as we inch closer and closer. So just outside the red zone from the Seattle 22-yard line, Chuck Dunn's going to back up and fire one across the middle, and he finds Joey Galloway again, who I think might have been tackled just a little bit short of the line to gain. So it'll be a short yardage situation. It looks like they will spot him about a yard or so short. So on 2nd and 1 for the Cowboys offense, it's going to be a handoff to Roland Rich again. He's going to bring 1 tackle before getting brought down by the 2nd tackle inside the 10, but it is a first down. So Roland Rich making good with his opportunities in open space. We'd like to see that. So on a 1st and goal, a long goal to go. Chuck Dunn to the corner of the end zone to Joey Galloway, and it's another Cowboy touchdown. So we have fired back quickly here in the second quarters. Both offenses kind of struggled early on in the quarter, and we have now taken a lead over the Seahawks. I don't even know if we held a lead, or I think we might have in the first game. I can't remember how that scoring exchange went in the first matchup that we had in the rain, but we currently hold a lead, so we're going to try and hang on to that. But Seattle running with tempo here with a minute and change left to go. It's going to be a throw off to Sean Alexander. It's a check down, and Sean Alexander does pick up a good amount to get close to the first down, but still 3rd and 4 is not going to do it. So from their own territory, their own 48 looks like, Hasselbeck's going to drop back, take his time, roll to the right, and fires off to the right side of the field to Robinson, who Robinson and Jared O'Neal completely beat, and he's going to make it to the end zone. No one is going to get anywhere close to him, as we had Dennis Hambrick, the left outside linebacker, in pursuit, because, Jared O'Neal completely cooked on that crossing route, had no hope of even catching him. And then we had Woodson, the safety, also in pursuit. But no one was going to catch up to Robinson. Robinson has not cooked us as much in the previous 2 matchups as he has today, but he's been kind of Seattle's main person, I guess, main contributor on offense. We haven't even really seen Sean Alexander as much as we did in the previous matchup. I think he really kind of made us struggle in the playoffs here, but so far it's been all Robinson's show. So again, Seattle with the ball here with just 25 seconds left in the half. Hasselbeck's going to find an open receiver across the middle, and they're going to call a timeout because there's still plenty of time to get at least another 10 or 15 yards to maybe try for a field goal. So on 1st and 10 with 20 seconds left to go, Hasselbeck, another deep shot, and it's hauled in into the end zone. The receiver is going, but it's Westbrook. It's on Westbrook's side. And you saw Hambrick get picked up perfectly on the coverage there. But Westbrook just completely, not lost out there. He made an attempt on the ball, but just wasn't nearly close enough to stop Jackson from hauling this one in. So Seattle's going to try and get back to the line of scrimmage, new line of scrimmage, but they're going to call timeout with 9 seconds left. Probably still had enough time to get up there and maybe spike it, but Seattle's going to send out the field goal unit here. They're not going to take a shot at the end zone. They're just going to go for the field goal and just take a quick lead. And the kick is good, but there is a yellow hanky on the field, and it's a holding call for Seattle. I've cut out the others, but they have had a couple so far in this game already, so discipline seems to be going on our side or in our benefit, at least for now. But Seattle's going to step back a little bit more. It's a little bit further of a chip shot for Lindell, but he's still going to nail this one through here with a few seconds left to work. But a 32-yarder, it's all the same. It's 3 points no matter how you slice it. So Seattle makes good with the ball with the last 30 seconds or so they had in the half. So, and they're going to retake the lead 17-14 heading into the locker room. So coming out into the third quarter now, Seattle just gets across midfield here, and Hasselbeck's going to drop back here. Plenty of time, open space to throw, and he's going to find an open man down the sideline. I think it's Sean Alexander we found down the sideline. A very interesting play call for Seattle, and it's going to result in a humongous pickup for their offense. So now inside the red zone on 2nd and 5, they're going to hand off to Sean Alexander. He's got plenty of open space here, but Jared O'Neal is going to catch up to the play and get Sean Alexander down by the ankles in open space. A beautiful tackle by O'Neal to save the touchdown, but it is like first down for the Seahawks. So on a 3rd and goal now, our defense is trying to make the goal line stand, if at all possible, to make this one still a 3-point game, or at the very least a 6-point game. Hasselbeck, plenty of time, and he takes his time and tries to get it to the tight end in the end zone, but that was Hambrick in coverage who was able to step in front of that and block that pass. So good play by Hambrick in pass protection. And so Lindell's going to come out for another field goal, and he's going to nail it through, this time a 24-yarder. And so Seattle's going to hang on to a 6-point lead, 20-14. So we're finally moving the ball here in the second half. Dunn rolls to his right and finds Raghib Ismail again, and that's going to be a first down. Now we are moving in Seattle territory a little bit more here. We got to get definitely far here. We at least need, I'd love a touchdown, but a field goal is also fine. So delayed handoff to Roland Rich, and he's going to pick up about a handful, but that was a pretty awkward and gross tackle, and that's because it was a face mask, so tackle on an extra 15. That was a bit more flagrant one. Normally you only get the 5-yard ones, but we got lucky with the 15-yarder, so we're going to get quite a bit closer to the end zone now off of a kind of a small run play here that really wasn't going anywhere for Roland Rich. So cut to a 2nd and 10 from Seattle's 15-yard line. Pressure once again gets in the backfield immediately, but Roland Rich has used his speed to burst out of that. Look at that, just evades the linebacker, finds some open space, breaks a tackle, and then gets brought down at the Seattle 1-yard line. Just almost gets into the end zone, but can't quite finish the job. So on 1st and goal, we'll see if maybe we can get him in there. So a pitch to Roland Rich, and he's got plenty of space, and he's in the end zone for his first touchdown as a Cowboy. He's been doing quite a bit today here, almost has 100 yards on the ground in his first game as a Cowboy. Really kind of one of the only things that's really working super well for us, as the offense hasn't struggled too badly, but we haven't seen a lot of dazzling plays from Chuck Dunn quite yet. So Roland Rich is keeping us in this game as we retake the lead at the end of the third quarter. Just a 1-point lead we're hanging on to, and we're going to need a lot more points if we're going to hold off the Seahawks. So Seahawks once again working by midfield, but it's another pass to Robinson over on Jared O'Neal's side, and he is off to the races, and O'Neal finally catches up to Robinson and gets him by the shoelaces, and they're going to mark him down about a yard or two short of the goal line, but it looks like he just might have been there. So another humongous pickup for Seattle's passing attack. So on first and goal, it's going to be a pitch to Sean Alexander, but there's a penalty as that open space tackle stops Sean Alexander well short of the goal line. It's going to be another holding call on the Seahawks. So like I said, I cut out a couple of them, but there's a few in this game here, quite a few holding calls on Seattle. So they're going to work their way back inside the 5 here, and they're going to hand it off to the backup running back, who gets into the end zone, and Seattle's going to retake the lead here, 26-21. Of course, pending the extra point, they can put it to 27, but they're going to go for 2 here and try and make it a 28-21 game. Hasselbeck fires it to the back of the end zone, and there's nobody home. He has not been able to catch up with Patton pretty much all game, as we've had good coverage on their tight end. So 26-21 is the score here, but now we are under 2 minutes, as Seattle's done a great job playing keep away from our offense, and if they can get this first down, they can effectively probably put it away, as they're going to hand it off to the fullback, and he's got plenty of open space. He's working close to the goal line, and then Woodson, the strong safety, out of nowhere wraps him up and makes the tackle here. And so we're going to burn through the rest of our timeouts, but Seattle is still not done. I mean, they can still finish this drive if they wanted to. They don't have any reason to, but inside the 10-yard line, burning some time, why not? They're going to hand off to Sean Alexander, and he's going to get involved today for Seattle as he gets into the end zone, and the lead is going to further extend for the Seahawks, and that's essentially going to do it for us, as we kind of failed to get the ball back and do much of anything in the fourth quarter. Seattle managed to burn off maybe 4 or 5 minutes off of that clock. I swear, when we see the time of possession stat here in a second in the stat screen, we'll see just how lopsided the time of possession was, because, I mean, they had to have held the ball for maybe 4 or 5 minutes when I was editing this, I swear. They completely held on to it. So the third meeting between these two teams ends in a third victory for the Seahawks. I mean, that's a sweep, right? in baseball terms, that'd be a sweep, but Seattle completely torches us just everywhere, on the ground, through the air. Running was the only thing consistently that we did do pretty well. We were still bad on third down. We couldn't stop Seattle from converting on third downs for the most part here. More of the same issues here, so even with the extended quarter length, the team's still struggling in a lot of the same ways, which is kind of concerning. It's a big concern, but starting off with a loss here, especially to this team, not a great look, and Chuck Dunn does not have a great start to his second year in the league, second year as a Cowboys. He has a pretty similar game to what he had in the last year with the shorter quarter length, so not great. But Roland Rich has a great game, which I'd like to see. Joey Galloway had a pretty decent game. Desmond Clark, our new free agent tight end, was also pretty involved as well. Sean Wooden leads the team in tackles, even gets a TFL, and that's pretty much it statistically to talk about. So moving forward here, back to our little hub world here, we do pick up our first win in week number 2 against the Bears in a close one, but we would drop our third week 3 game against the Browns by just 3 points. So we're heading into this game against the Bengals in Cincinnati at 1-2, and so this is kind of like a throwback between series here, because I did the Bengals series, so we're going to see which one between these two is truly supreme. So thanks for watching the kickoff to year number 4 here. We're trying to go further here, but I think if we can't get to playoffs, this series might end pretty soon. So we got to pick up some more wins. So I hope to see you guys in Cincinnati.